Yes, okay. Full name is Prashant Patil, and like I'm working in a IT firm, and in IT industry, it's been more than 7 years. I'm working. I work as a SaaS developer, SaaS data engineer. So our expectation is like our company, like
I'm,
what is the main
I'm
motto of
sorry, Prashant. I'm sorry to cut you. Which technology you are working on?
SaaS,
Which
SaaS,
developer?
SAS.
SAT.
Yes,
SAS.
SaaS,
Okay.
SaaS,
Okay.
SaaS, SAS.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a ETL tool, ETL plus like combination of combo of lots of things like reporting and all. But I work for majorly for the ETL part and I work for the banking domain. So my requirement is like that. My organization they are moving from the on-prem to this AWS. So that's what my requirement is like. That's why I just wanted to learn about the data engineering part.
Okay.
So
In AWS, any idea which services they're going to use? Data warehouse,
yeah, as of
Redshift,
now,
or
not much idea, but yes, for the the data part and all, that they'll be using the Redshift, Glue. Yeah, that's what I aware as of now.
oh, okay, okay. Glue, Lambda must be there.
Yes,
Glue,
yes, yes, yes.
S3, Redshift. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Shavia?
Next.
Hi, my name is Ravia. I have overall 10 years of experience into IT industry. Coming to the expectations and current technology details, we both are working on the same thing.
Okay, you're also SaaS developer and looking for AWS data engineering. Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay.
Yeah. Other person, she's will be joining under 10 minutes. Yeah, we can continue, Oscar.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So basically, since you worked on on-premise environment, so when we are moving to on-demand, that is cloud environment, then let's have the what to say um, in the cloud, what kind of services we have, and being a data engineer, what tools or what services that we are gonna work. So these things, let's see. So let me share my screen. First of all, the basic thing is like when you move into cloud, first we should have the regions, availability zones, how the cloud environment it looks. Let's see. Let me share my screen. And before that, about myself, I'm a cloud data engineer. I have 12 plus years of experience. It's completely on data warehousing. So initially, I worked an ETL developer on Informatica Power Center. So it's been more than 7 years that I started working on the cloud. So I worked on two clouds, AWS and GCP, along with Snowflake. Okay, so it's my complete experience is on data related to ETL, data warehousing, cloud data engineering, all these things. Yeah. So first of all, how the environment looks is I would like to share this uh, screen share. Say, for example, first of all, why do we need to go for the cloud? In the cloud environment, basically, cloud, there are like, three types of cloud services usually. The first thing is like infrastructure as a service. So that means in the cloud, actually, we don't maintain. I mean, now I'm working for an insurance company, Lincoln Financial Group. So that one actually they would maintain their infrastructure, like the computers and the networking, everything they won't maintain. So they rely on the public cloud, like nowadays like AWS, GCP, and Azure. They are the main cloud providers. So in that, the first thing is like infrastructure as a service. That means the cloud provider will give you the infrastructure, wherein you can deploy your applications and you can do your coding, whatever you want. So the other one, the platform as service. So it is something like we have, we'll be given some kind of runtime environment wherein you process your data. It is something like AWS Lambda, even Glue. So these are like platform as a service. So there are like different cloud services, but after that, there in the cloud environment, say for example, if you take AWS, so this applies to all cloud like AWS, GCP, Azure. So in the AWS, basically, first of all, how many regions are there? But what is the need for the region? Region and availability zone. Say for example, if you see here, see my application is placed in the London region. This is one of the regions in the AWS. So in the London region, I have one data center. This is nothing but data center, nothing but availability zone. So if I deploy my application within this corporate data center, nothing but availability zone. Now, so I have a region within that I have only one availability zone, and the people across the globe or trying to access the application which is there in the availability zone of the London region. So at the time, what kind of challenges that we face is, see, apart from London, that means outside London. Say for example, I am trying to access the application which is there in the London region. So then in that case, I may experience slowness when I try to access the application which is deployed in the data center, that is availability zone. So this is the first challenge that we face. Right. So that means there will be heavy, high latency. It is not like, within no time we can access the application. It's not like that because I am operating from different zone, but the application is there in the London region. Now, second challenge, what if this data center goes down? That means if it is crashed, how can I access my application which is installed here? So that is one of the challenges. To improve this, we can go for the other architecture wherein you will have the two corporate data centers, nothing but two availability zones within a single region. So basically, region within the region, we will have the availability zones. So when I have two availability zones, then in that case, if my application is there in London region, if one corporate data center is crashed, even in that case also, I can access my application from data center 2. So with this, the challenge one, it is still there because I am trying to access the application from London region. Right, but I am operating from India, so I may experience the slowness. Right, the challenge two, what if one data center crashes? That means if it goes down, then I even in that case also I can access my application from the data center too. So and there is one more challenge actually. Entire London crashes. That means entire London because of natural calamity. This London region went down. Then in that case, I cannot access. That means my application is not available. So to improve this architecture, we can go for, we will be adding one more region. That means in India, one more region. So now here, challenge one, it is not fully resolved because from India, I can access my applications, but somebody is trying to access the application from Sydney. So at that time, even that people face slowness. They experience slowness when they try to access the application, which is there in London region or Mumbai region. Okay, the second challenge, it is completely fixed. because if one data center crashes, I can access my application from another availability zone within the London region, or I can access from the Mumbai region also. The third challenge, if entire London region crash, if it goes down, then even in that case also I can access my application from the Mumbai region. So that means, so in the AWS we have various the availability zones, different regions we have. If you see, so this is my account actually. So my applications are already there. So in this, you see here, if you see, this is my free account actually. See, these are all different regions, right? So since it is free account, these regions are not accessible. See, this one, if you see Asia Pacific, Tokyo, this one, so all are, these are all accessible, right? So now this is, if I take, there are different services, right? If you say IAM, this is Identity and Access Management, right? So, one second. Okay. Yeah. So this service, if you see IAM, when you open IAM, it is showing global. This means the IAM is a service which is globally accessible. That means what? This is not regional service. So this IAM service is global service. So that means from anywhere, this service is available everywhere. Say for example, if you take EC2, so EC2, it's actually, so Elastic Cloud Compute, this is regional service. That means if you create any EC2 instance in the Ohio region, that is US East 2. I forgot to mention here. For every region, there is a kind of code. For North Virginia, it is US East 1. So in the United States, we have 4 regions. So for every region, we have a code like US East 1, US East 2, like that. For Asia Pacific, if you see, there are 8 regions. So in that, for each and every region, we have codes like AP. AP means Asia Pacific. So every region ends with some numeral like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay. Now, coming back to EC2, one of the services in AWS, compute services basically. So that means if you create one EC2 instance in Ohio region, then you cannot access this Ohio region. I mean, you cannot access the EC2 which is created in Ohio region from North Virginia. So if you create EC2 instance over here, key pair is there here, then I'm switching to North Virginia. I'm sorry. So in North Virginia, there are other keys actually, right? So if I move on to Sydney, right? So this security group, it's by default, it came actually in the Sydney region. So you don't see the key pairs actually, which were created in the North Virginia and Ohio region. So that means this EC2 is, it is a regional service. So basically, okay. So now as part of our course, what we do is we will have the local setup by using PyCharm or some Visual Studio Code, and from that we'll try to access our applications which are there in the cloud basically, right? And in our course, so we will be covering what is that? Yeah, so you will come across all these topics like S3. So there are like different operations that we do on S3. like how can we, replicate a bucket from one region to other region, that is cross region application, I mean cross region replication. And if you version the bucket, how it behaves, and when you try to place your file within a bucket, even though you change the file, will it create a version? So these kind of interview questions we face. That means I took a lot of interviews, and I also attended in my career beginning. I also attended so many interviews. So how we get the interview questions? How can we cope up with the concept? How to get the conceptual understanding on each and every service? We will go through each and everything like AWS S3 and how the IAM. That means when you are in the cloud, our data. So when you place your file on S3 bucket or any region, how can it be protected? So by using server-side encryption or key management service, or by using the basic level of securities like by using IAM roles. So using IAM roles, we can make sure that our application or bucket or EC2 or any application is secured by using IAM role. That means role-based access we can provide. So these kind of things. And coming to EC2, how the compute engine works. So when you deploy your application on the virtual machine, so how that machine can be connected from the local, or how can we deploy our application on the virtual machine, how to access it, how can we, do our operations on that particular virtual machine. So all these things, the data analytics we see by using Lambda function. So this is main for data engineer, AWS Lambda, and other one is Glue, the glue, and the redshift also. We will be covering redshift. Within the glue, there is like different things like AWS Glue catalog is there. Within the glue, we can write Spark job or Python shell job. We can write, and within the glue itself, we can do orchestration also. Like we can schedule it, retry mechanism we can implement. So everything we can do within the glue. But to be safer side, usually nowadays, mainly the for orchestration purpose, we use Apache Airflow mainly. But in the AWS also, we have a service called step function. We'll be covering that one also. I did not capture that one here. Okay, so we'll be covering Athena also for data analysis, right? And the Redshift and the Redshift cluster, how it works. So even Redshift Spectrum also we'll be covering. I did not capture that one here. So these are all the services that we are gonna cover. Yeah, since it is just the demo, I did not. I'm not giving more details here. So everything. So we do uh, from hands-on session only. Everything is hands-on, hands-on. S3, Redshift, everything like Lambda, Glue. So we have data in the local. I have data in my local, and we play with that data all our hands-on sessions only. Yeah, over to Ganesh. You there? Am I audible?
Yes, we can, but Ganesh, I don't know.
Oh, excuse me.
Bhaskar, I have a doubt. These are all about static data, right? Not about streaming data.
Streaming, we have Kinesis. We have service called
So will it be
Kinesis.
covered as part of the training?
Yes, we have a server which we can connect to the server. So we can rotate the server, and we can see how the streaming data is getting populated into the Redshift or data lake.
Okay. Will it be lake formation and all will be covered?
No, lake formation I will not be covering. Lake formation and what is that? CDK, cloud formation. I will not be covering all these things. So will you be using the cloud formation templates in your project? Did you get any details on it?
Not yet, but they might be using it.
Okay, okay. Cloud
Cloud9 or
formation. Cloud9, it
other.
is like IDE. It is just
I
IDE.
agree, I agree. But few other are there, right? Cloud. I'm not exactly getting the names. Just give me a minute. I'll get the
Yeah, yeah,
names.
please check. Please check and let me know. I'll tell you.
So you'll be covering the PySpark thing also, right? Like PySpark or Python, because we don't know the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Python.
Yeah. Python also because your background is ETL, so definitely you're familiar with SQL.
Yep, yep.
So SQL, I think it is not required to cover, but yes, Python I'll be covering because without Python we cannot do anything in the cloud. Right?
Okay.
Python is mandatory, and when we learn Glue, there actually we learn Spark also, PySpark, because all the Glue jobs we implement them as PySpark jobs only.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be
Uh,
exploring Spark. Yeah.
yeah. And what will be the entire duration? What do you think? Like,
It will be 45 days, but definitely it will be beyond 45 days because it is completely hands-on, right? Sometimes we may go very slow also.
okay.
But good thing is you are already experienced, guys. We can go little faster because we can understand the data related aspects, right?
Yeah.
Max 2 months. Sorry, little cold. That's why I'm sneezing sometimes. I'm coughing. Shravya, did you get the services that
No, not
you're going to
exactly.
use?
Not exactly. It's not there. The list is not there. But how about Elastic File Service and Block Service?
And it is not Elastic Block Service. It is EBS, Elastic
Yes, yes.
Block Storage. Block
Storage.
Storage.
Sorry.
Yes, it will be part of EC2. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
EBS VPC will be covering VPC and
okay,
security groups, right?
okay.
EBS,
And how
yeah.
about visualization part?
Visualization, no, I'll not be covering. The reporting tools, I'll not be covering.
Okay, I mean, like, behalf of Sun Technologies, anyone will cover this, or it will not be part of the course itself?
Then Ganesh responds on it. Ganesh, I think the question to you.
Sorry, Sarava, can you repeat?
So in AWS, we have few visualization tools, right?
Uh,
QuickSight or some.
I'll
Uh,
do one thing. Let me
Bhaskar,
check.
correct me if I'm wrong. QuickSight or few other services will
Yes,
be
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Yes, they are. But yeah, in the data engineering course, I'll not be covering. Maybe
Uh,
Ganesh will take somebody's help. I don't know.
no, no. AWS Kicksite is a kind of separate course. We are not covering in this. Like we are covering same EC2, sorry, the S3 Lambda and Redshift Glue, Athena Consistency. All these.
Uh, the same thing for lake formation also, is it?
Yeah, lake formation, yes, we'll be covering. I think you mentioned AWS cloud formation, right? Cloud formation
Cloud
template.
formation and lake formation both.
Lake formation, maybe I'll cover, but cloud formation, I cannot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ganesh, could you please confirm whether it will be part of it or not?
What I'll do is let me share the course contents. So we do
Sure,
have content. Like let me check with Bhaskar and I'll share the course content with you.
sure. Check with me. Bhaskar, how about the migration part?
You mean,
On-premise to cloud. I mean, like,
yeah,
I
that's
just
what
want
we.
to have a at least sample of one or two so
So
that we'll
what
have
we
some
will do
idea.
is, yeah, what we will do is, so in the local we'll have data. So with that data, we will play. I mean, we'll develop ETL pipelines.
Okay,
Or maybe in the local, what we can do is we can install the Oracle, and from Oracle we try to load the data into the uh, Redshift. by using AWS Glue or Lambda.
Okay.
That's how it is. Like in the on-premise, we'll have Oracle, and that can be
Got it.
moved to Redshift.
Okay, boss.
Yeah.
So any more questions? Prashant, Shavya.
I'm
Yeah.
clear, Ganesh.
Yeah. No, nothing. I have few questions. Like, if you plan, what will be the timings and all? And like, it will be a weekend, weekday. What are the options we have?
That I'll confirm tomorrow. I have to
Okay.
check others as well, and I'll check with Bhaskar also. Then I'll confirm it tomorrow.
Okay. And what about the, let's say, if it requires the study content or the interview question, based on the interview questions and.
Yeah, yeah. While I'm explaining the concept, I'll give you because as I mentioned, like I took so many interviews and I also gave interviews. So based on that experience, when I cover, say for example, if I cover S3, so in that S3, like what will be the possible interview questions and what I asked.
Mhm.
So this one, even Python also, when I cover,
Okay.
lists and dictionaries and methods, so file handling, all these things. When I cover each and every topic, I'll highlight those things which would be
Yeah.
asked in the interviews. Yeah, that's how we go.
Got it. Got it.
Shavya, anything from your end?
I'm clear, Ganesh.
Okay then. Then if you don't have a question, then we can leave for now. And by tomorrow, I'll let you know timings and start date and everything. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, any more questions, you can make a note and they can send it to us, me or Raghu. So
Sure.
we'll talk to Bhaskar and I'll discuss those questions as well.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shavya and Sumit. Thanks for joining.